It's not that you don't believe in prayer, you do, but you're stuck in a rut. You pray about the same struggles and the same request in the same way at the same time, even if you try to pray at all. Like me, you probably know you should pray more and with more passion, more faith. You want to talk to God and listen to Him, to share an intimate conversation like you would with your spouse or your best friend. You really want to, but you aren't sure how. So your prayers remain safe, flat, dull, predictable, stale, boring. My friend's wake-up call convinced me that it was time for a change in my prayer life. For far too long, I'd tolerated lackluster, faithless, and mostly empty prayers. I knew God wanted more from me, and I wanted to know Him more intimately, despite my hesitation about what it would require of me. To get there, I began unpacking some of my spiritual baggage. For years, I'd felt deep shame about my half-hearted prayer life, me especially as a pastor. If you've ever felt insecure about your prayer life, think about what it's like to be a pastor. I'm supposed to be a prayer warrior, full of fierce, unrelenting faith and unbridled spirit-led power. And yet, I found myself drifting while I tried to pray. In the middle of a prayer, whether praying silently or aloud, my mind would bounce from one thing to the next. Dear God in heaven, I pray that you'd heal my friend who has cancer, work in her life in the name of, I really need to go to the hospital to see her again. Wait, I haven't changed the oil in my car, and we're out of cereal. The kids are going to kill me, and Amy has a doctor's appointment today, and did we pay the insurance bill, and I can't believe how much is going on this year. Oh, yeah, there's this week's sermon. I still can't find a strong illustration. I'm sorry, Lord. What were we talking about? To make matters even worse, I always dreaded prayer meetings. Talk about feeling guilty as a pastor. These prayer meetings seemed to last forever with people who not only knew how to pray, but also loved to pray. Not to mention that whenever you have to hold hands with others in a prayer time, it seems to get really weird quick. On the one side is always the vice. The louder she prays, the harder she squeezes. God, we bind up the work of the devil. In Jesus' name, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Your knuckles turn white as you lose feelings up to your elbow. But then on the other side, you have the fish, a cold, pulseless hand barely grasping yours. The vice cuts off your circulation, while the fish makes you eager to shrug off that clammy appendage passing as a hand. And then there's always the power prayer. The person who loves to pray loud and proud. The one who quotes tons of Bible verses and makes you feel even more inadequate. They pray, God, you said in your word in Deuteronomy 28 that we would be the head and not the tail. We know that from John 3:16, Lord, that you so loved the world. With so many numbers thrown around, by the end of it, you feel like you've been listening to a lecture on accounting. Then there's always what I call the competitor. When I was at New Christian College, I frequently experienced this kind of prayer one-upmanship with my roommate. He'd pray loud and long, sounding so sure of himself and displaying his vast knowledge of God and the Bible. Feeling pressure not to be outdone, I'd up my game, but usually found myself taking it too far. Since I didn't know much about the Bible then, I'd just roll out things that sounded powerful and Bible-like. Like, God, you said in your word that you're not only Jehovah Jireh, but you're also Jehovah Nissan. Yes, you're Jehovah Nissan. And Lord, you're so good. You're good to you're good to the last drop. And you're so sweet, like honey on your lips. It tastes so good. It melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Oh God, you're like a good neighbor. You're always there, or whatever. These weren't my only prayer problems. Too often, praying just didn't make any sense to me. It seemed like God would often respond quickly to my meaningless requests, like the time I almost jokingly asked God to heal our broken air conditioning, and He did. Then I'd fast and pray my guts out for months that God would heal my friend from a disease, and He didn't. Sometimes I believe